Greetings and welcome to Project Pandora. I am Darkling and this, of course, is Ark Survival Evolved. Today we're doing some more on Project Pandora. As you can see in the background, the towers are complete and they're looking pretty good from here. I've still got to do a few other little bits and pieces around the base before we start on the flyer deck, so stick around and hopefully you'll learn something. So with all the towers now completed, things are definitely looking a little bit more interesting, aren't they? Now I did notice as I logged off on the last video that I didn't actually complete all the glass railings. I did all the small towers but actually forgot the main one. So I don't know how many of these I've got. I should set up my hotbar a little bit better. I don't know how much of this I'll actually manage to do with what I've got on my bar at the moment, but I can at least make a start. So I'm hoping you're enjoying what you've seen so far. It's been quite a long build already. Oops. Mouse got a little bit funky there. Yeah, it's been quite a long build already. We're up to, this must be the 12th hour. If I was doing this on a server, this would be probably the second day of building. When I first start on a server, I will spend probably about 6 hours on my initial startup, and then I might do another couple of days where it's quite heavy. So, you know, while 12 hours seems like a lot to get to this sort of stage, it's really not. I mean, how much time you invest in Ark as it is, I think it's pretty reasonable. Why have I got a floating one? It's interesting. Okay, no idea on that one. Never mind, on we go. So what I'm doing at the moment is I am going to finish the little flyer deck on the inside here. Next one up. Just going to make sure I've got the right level. Now I want to put a flyer deck trim around the outside of this. I haven't decided quite how I'm going to do it yet. So that should be an interesting thing to get into at some point. That'll be fine. This kind of proves that this little area here is actually going to be quite good for even big flyers. I hadn't actually designed it to take something this size, but it's not too bad. Sits in there quite nicely. The only drawback is obviously you're going to have the feet sticking through the floor. Okay. I'm gonna do an outline around the, I'll call it a bedroom. It's not necessarily going to be a bedroom. I'll do an outline around that because I want to try something with the entrance to it. Whoops. Now I'm hoping I can get a... I want to build a stairwell that gets up here, probably do 3 of those, and then I'm going to have a spot here where it actually slopes down into the into a doorway to get into this area. So I think it would look really interesting if I can pull it off. Well, I'll say if I can pull it off. I'll be able to pull it off, it's just a matter of how much time it's going to take and what particular method I'll use. There's things like that I know I can do, it's just a matter of a little bit of time and a little bit of thinking in some cases. I'm expecting it's mostly just going to be the thinking part. I mean, the actual construction should be pretty straightforward. Just get all the initial bits in place around it, so that I know what the exact height of this level is. I know it's 3 high, but once you see it lined up, you'll get an idea as to how much you're going to have to sink things down, and just get the general overall look of it. There's a couple of ideas I'm thinking of for the access onto this level, because obviously I'm not going to want to get too far into the actual main area here, because the more I stick in there, the more it's going to encroach on how the storage is going to work. I don't want to make it so that there's no way to get more important dinos into the area because there's too many staircases or something, or they're too big. I've got a couple of ideas in mind I'll have a bit of a play with. It's funny how designs do evolve as you're building them. I really like the process of something happening and you have to work around it. A lot of people say they'd rather have just everything work out just the way they originally planned, but to be honest, I really honestly believe that when you have a hurdle in a game like Ark, in the building respect, once you hit that hurdle, it's a pain, yeah, I know, but at the same time it does tend to produce the best workarounds. Like, some of the things that you come up with and like to get around the problem end up being so much cooler, and you wouldn't have even thought of them had you not had the problem in the first place. I'll take that and carry. Yes, I can. I'll go around this way because I know that there is a section needs filling in. I'll need to fix my hotbar up. So hopefully my hay fever's stopped acting up since the last couple of videos. Some of my videos are more chatty than others, and lately I've had a bit of a hay fevery kind of time of it, so we try not to get too sniffly and whatnot while I'm doing the recordings, because you guys really don't need to listen to any of that. I still need to remove the scaffold out of here. I'm going to do that at the start of a video. I probably should have done it at the start of today's, but I think I'll just get a little bit more done first. The reason I'm going to do it at the start of a video is it may crash. If things haven't connected up properly, I'm pretty sure that the lines are going to be fine. There is a slight discrepancy between the ceiling and all these slopes, but I think the actual snap points themselves are still intact. If it isn't, and the whole top falls, there's enough structures there that I'm pretty sure that the server I've got it running on is just going to have a hernia and spit it back out, which is good in a respect because it may not actually need to be rolled back. Look right, yeah. Because I'll have to do a rollback if it. It's just easier than re-recording all of this being filled in. Obviously you can't do that when you're on an actual server, but that's the risk you take. I've played on quite a few servers now. I've played on some where things went really smoothly and some where things didn't quite go so smoothly. I think the biggest part is finding a group of people that are really nice, and if you can find some good people to play with, your game experience will be just that much better. I played with a few good people in various games. I did have a run-in with on one of the servers I played on. Something happened and I got a little upset about it. I didn't abuse anybody or get like too trolly or anything, but I ended up leaving the server because I didn't agree with the decisions that were made. But you know, you're gonna have times like that no matter what you do. Is that everything? It does look like it. You're just gonna have to move on and just keep things as nice as possible without getting too many people offended. Now, how is that? So what I want to do here is, obviously I've got the this section here is the support for the tower. Now I want to remove this. I don't want to remove too much out of here because there's always the risk of disconnecting the tower if I haven't connected it up properly. I'm pretty sure it's connected as well as it needs to, but I don't want to take too much out just in case. I'm thinking of making it so that the ramp comes up to this level, and then from this level you can access up to the outside layer. Pretty sure that's how it's going to go. Now I think I'm going to take this section out. Now if I go upwards, that'll be fine. I can go upwards there. What should I take out? I took out 2 there. Oh, that gave me a fright. Thank you, Ark. I wasn't expecting anything to drop off on that particular spot. It's always the way. I feel like I should be taking another one out. Oh, it's going to be one of those. So I will take out this line here. I'm obviously not going to take that one out just yet, but I can work around that spot. It's not a problem. Right, that's cool. Now I'm going to have this space under here. As you can see, if you run around, there is quite a bit of space. Sometimes I'll use this, putting in some hidden storage or something like that. It depends on the build and what I'm actually building for. It's looking really cool. Really happy with how this is coming out. So this will be sloped up here. I'm going to have a ramp structure of some point coming up to this. Some sort. I have to remove a little bit more of this, which is fine. I'm probably going to remove that one and have a triangle entrance. Otherwise, if I remove others, it's going to be a really bizarre shape, and I won't be able to cut this off so you can't walk through it like a... I really wish that there was a tier of tech walls. That would be fantastic for that. But never mind. I'm going to swap to tri-roofs. Half a stack. I'll need some sloped walls to cover in that side piece. Now I'm not sure how long this part will take. I'm hoping it's not going to take too long. So I would like to start on the flyer deck today if I can. But even though it was said in the intro, it's not always necessarily the case of what's actually going to happen. Those of you that have played Ark long enough will know that plans never go quite according to. And yes, that was meant to make a whole lot of sense. I've seen a lot of streamers and YouTubers that say, today we're going to tame insert creature name here, and they just can't even find a single one of that creature. Just one of those things in an arc. You kind of just have to, whatever it is you're doing, just go with whatever it is you're doing. Sometimes it'll work for you, sometimes it'll work against you. So that's looking really cool. I quite like how that's come out. Part of me would like to slope this part down a little bit more, but because of the connections here for that other part, by doing so nothing will actually snap there properly anyway. So what I'm going to need to do is come up with a method for getting stuff up there. Any ramps on me? Take 10 of those. Take a couple of those. We've got some of those on me. Yeah, I think that'll work for now. So, what I'm going to need is a middle ground. Rather not take up this whole wall if I can help it. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to have 4 ramps upwards, aren't I? 1 for each tower. Will look really cool though. Screw it, I'm gonna do it. So, what? Okay, whatever. So it's gonna be even numbers, so I need to work out what kind of connection I'm gonna use. Am I going to snap some tri on the front here and then do an angled section out? It seems quite large. I feel like what I should be doing is coming down straight off of that. I was going to turn it, but to be honest I think it's actually better to just stick it straight out. Unfortunately, that's actually not going to work. I need to go up 2, so that's this line here. What can we do on the tri? And will it let me place the tri? Of course the mouse had to start moving by itself. This is a really awesome mouse, but ever since we got it there's been every so often it will randomly start moving in a direction. I'm not sure why. I'm assuming it would be a good idea to replace it, but like I said, it is a good mouse other than every so often randomly moving. Okay. Oops. Oh, come on. Now, I've got a few options I can do here. I can keep it as it is, or I can expand it outwards to match. I'm probably going to do that one. It does look cool with that shaping that it had, but at the same time this lines up nicely with that, so it feels quite a nice flow. So I'll end up sticking some railings on here probably. There's a few tricks to snapping those in. Quite like being able to access that, that's pretty cool. It's nice when something works out the way you thought it. There is a few problems with it, but I'll live with it. So I'm going to take that line off there, I know. Technically I did say I was going to work on the flyer deck today, and as far as it goes, this level is actually meant to be for flyers, so I'm not entirely inaccurate. I'm getting a lot of jumping around. The mouse isn't moving, it's not doing its move around on itself at the moment, it's just for some reason the snapping seems to be jumping a lot. Let's try to snap the opposite. Okay, that worked. Now I've not seen this information disseminate yet. I know I've told a number of people the trick for snapping to the opposite. There's been a few people that have seen the video. I'm hoping that at some point we're going to see the information disseminate to the general populace. That would be really cool. Like I said, I've never seen anybody actually use the technique, so I'm hoping the name sticks too. Snapping to the opposite sounds, I don't know, it just sounds nice to me. And how often do you get to name anything other than dinos, and that's just a mission? God, when you've named dinos enough times, you just get sick of it. Alrighty. I probably don't need those ones there. Ooh, jump to the right spot there. How do I jump to the right spot just as you're pressing the Q? Of course you are. Did a bit of a jiggle on the spot there, didn't it? Snap to the opposite. Okay, that was... Ooh, that gap. What I need to do is get the right angle. Awesome, so it snaps to the next one rather than whatever it was snapping to before. So that's looking cool, that'll get filled in a little bit. Obviously when I've got materials on me. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm not gonna argue with that one. How big is that one? Too wide at the bottom, that's fine. Makes it easy to expand on it. Oh, I forgot to say at the start of the video, I did add an extra 100 tri-ceilings to the box. Like I said in previous videos, you do go through a lot of extra materials. You'd be surprised. Well, if you're this far through, you're probably not surprised. Okay, it's still jumping around a lot. It'll work for now. Now, what I'm doing is I'm going to build this build to the point where I'd move it in, or move into it. I'm pretty much there already. I would probably stick a few more materials down, a few things to like grills and cookers and things like that, storage. But for the most part, it's actually pretty move-inable. So I pretty much plan to get it to the point where I would fully move in. But I will do a few little bits and pieces first, because I want to get the build to a point where it is usable as a base. Oops. I feel like something's going wrong here. Yeah, I'll get it to the move-inable point, and when I've done a build like this, I don't actually build the whole lot in one go normally. I will build it to the move-in point, and then after the move-in point I will live in it for a little while and see how I feel. And things that bug me get fixed. Things that make my life easier, they'll get changed. And it's pretty much that process through for however long I'm in the base. Sometimes things change a lot, sometimes things change hardly at all. How far out did I go? There's actually all of it. It's fine. About right. Across the bottom. And up again. But it's like if you ever buy a house, it's recommended that you live in the place for a while before you actually make any... I thought there was a gap, isn't it? Before you make any design changes, so that you know you've lived there for long enough to know what you do and don't like about a building, house, not arc. I actually grew up with a builder. I didn't learn a lot off him, but I'm assuming I picked up some various little bits and pieces along the way. I'm not sure if that's what helps here. Probably more all the years I've played video games for. I've played a lot. I tend to obsess about one particular game or whatnot. Actually, I've covered this before. I've said that before. It's amazing how often I get stuck on something. But that's kind of the way my life goes. I'll get really into something until I get bored, and then I'll pick something else up and just sort of repeat the process. Not that I necessarily get bored really quickly or anything. I mean, I'm what, 5.6 thousand hours into Ark so far. That's a lot. It really is. I haven't actually sat down and worked out how many days that is. I really don't want to. I can imagine it's a lot. I'm trying not to work it out in my head. My maths is terrible. I know I'd never be able to work it out, but I'd be able to at least give myself a ballpark figure, and I don't really want to know that bit. This is too big. What's wrong? Now I've just come to the realization this is really dark. So if you're only just... Ooh, why did that not work? Sheet, set time of day. Alright. Should be working. No idea, for some reason it's not working. Gamma 5. Oh, that's way too bright. Gamma 4, that'll have to do for now. That's really weird. I had that working earlier because I spawned the ceilings in, so I know I am currently logged in. Actually... Oh. Somehow I've ended up logged out. Seems to be what's happened. Not sure how, but I'll have to remedy that soon. Okay, now this one's going to be interesting because obviously the entrance is covered, so I don't know the exact connection path. I hate when it lags like that. You're basically shooting blind. Sometimes you end up with your mouse facing a direction you really didn't want it to. And I'm not yet ready for those supports to come down. So, like I've said, if you have any builds of your own that this is inspired, like if you've watched this and you've gotten really... That's really wrong. You've gotten enough information to design your own base from it, I'd like to see what you've come up with. I'm interested to see where people go after watching these. My videos are all about people taking information away and trying something new. If you're a YouTuber or something like that, it would be nice to have a link back to the stuff you've built. One of the reasons I want to get some screenshots of things that my stuff's inspired. I like the idea that I could... Oh, what is that? That... Oh, look like it should be there. Yeah, I like the idea of getting information back that proves that somebody's been helped. Now, I've had a few people say that bits and pieces have helped them. Obviously, at the point of recording this, this hasn't been released. None of it has, and it won't be until it's finished. So I've got no one saying anything about this yet. I don't know if people are going to like it. I have a feeling most people won't. This is more of a specialty kind of video. I'm guessing it's going to be people who are quite hardcore into Ark that haven't picked up some of the building techniques or something along those lines. It's really hard to be sure what my demographic is going to be until I get a proper series underway. Oh, I swear I know English. This should become my slogan. I swear I know English. Okay, so I'm going to take that one away as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Looking good. Should have brought some railings with me. Anything I've got slope walls. I can lose all those. Take 2 small stacks of those. Should be enough. So now it does look like I'm going to get a gap. Oh, that's not too bad. Okay, there is a little bit there. I'm going to have to live with that because there's not much I can do. Some of them I could probably move around, but it's going to take far too long. As you can see, they've all got the little bit of a gap. Oh, I seem to be missing a ramp. Question is, do I have enough materials on me, or did I just offload them all? No, I think I offloaded them all. Seriously, is that all I've got? Okay, okay, I'm gonna have to go down and get some more. Anything else I can build? Yes, there is. I don't like going back with so much on me, so I'm going to reproduce this. Because the easiest way is to just come down here. Now, I think I added those in, didn't I? Got 2, that's going to be the center. Okay, so the reason it's like that, oh wait, where's the one that's completed? Okay, so it doesn't have the walls along the back. That's why that looks funny. Those are gone. Nice, these. Now I could do this without replacing them, but I'm going to replace them anyway. Oh crap. Nope, not that one. Yes, give me that one. I've said it before, I tend to build things like this and then I'll pull stuff out as I go. It's all about adding a whole lot and then trimming things and making it tidier. I didn't want to do that one. So yeah, the method is put them all in place and then kind of build around that and try and get the general shaping that I want. Looks pretty good. I've got something funky going on with, I'm not sure what tile that is. That one? It's still a little bit funky, but it looks like it fits properly now. Well, looks like there's 2 more. Okay, so that side is now completed. That one is as well. Move on to the next one. That's going to be a gap. Snap downwards once, but I'm guessing not off that. Okay, so how that one snapped, I have no idea. That shouldn't have been able. Must have been a fluke. Otherwise that one would snap in place. So it must have snapped to something else in that spot. Oh, I can't place that one because of that. There it is, give it back. Actually Friday night for me here. To be honest, I'm half asleep already, which is disappointing because I'm only halfway into this recording and I was hoping to get another lot done tonight, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be too late. I've got some free time tomorrow to record if I can get up early enough, so kind of a problem for me. I don't tend to get up well. I like sleeping in. Oh, come on, why? Of course, so I just randomly place it, it works fine. Amount of last ones. Went through those pretty quick, as per usual, I suppose. $30, $35, looks right. Now I'm going to move this guy down into the middle. I think it's a girl, but no matter. I ended up with a bunch of these guys. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Tell you what, sometimes these snaps are really bizarre. Okay, so let's snap to the opposite there. Sure enough. Fine, be like that. See if I care. So yeah, it's Friday night. It's getting pretty late now. I think it's sometime after midnight. I was hoping to get a bit more gaming in tonight or something else. Keep seeing somebody I know playing Subnautica, and I keep thinking I want to pick that up and do a little bit of playing of it. Is that 2? Awesome. I've seen a bit of streaming and I've played it a little bit so far, and it is quite a nice game. I think there's certain lacking features of it, like the ability to play multiplayer. A lot of games I do like playing solo. I will admit that I'm a bit antisocial, but I don't know. Subnautica feels like the kind of game you'd want to play with friends. Oh, of course that's not going to work. Hang on, I didn't tell you to go there. I played this game for 1,500 hours of single player before I even tried server play. That's right. And one more entrance to go. I can always put something under the ramps if need be. I'm not quite sure what I might do there yet. Thing is, this kind of building, you end up with a lot of spaces you can't actually use for pretty much anything like decent. You end up with like these lots of little areas that can't really be good for much. Like underneath these main slope parts, the actual flyer section. Is it not snapping in there? There you go. No, you want to. Yeah, because, you know, we needed that. This is going to be another one of those ones that... No. I really need to come up with some ideas of maybe book reviews or something to fill in the time during the videos where I'm staring at space, wondering what I'm doing and how I got here. Okay, so that's looking really good. So obviously I'm going to need railings to finish off this level. The supports have got to come out, which is no big major. And what is a major is how I'm going to do the outside run. Now I've been putting some thought into it, and it's quite a large area up here. I'm actually wondering if I need a flyer spot. God, you can see my mouse bumping around. My mouse is currently not being touched by anybody. This is what my mouse does every so often. I'll move it and it'll stop it. So I have checked, and yes, there is a clean laser, so there's no hair there or anything jumping it around. So yeah, I'm thinking this is a big enough area as it is, but I kind of need to raise up the side anyway, so I may do that. It's all well and good having this as it is, but a T-Rex will walk off here without even thinking twice. Why did I only get full inventory? No? I literally just pick up the smallest stack, followed by the largest. Oh, yeah, okay, apparently I'm yawning now, so I'm definitely on the way to being ready for sleep. Still too much weight. So, the best method is something like this. If you have to build a lot of something in an area, I like the strafe command because it doesn't give you such a horrible looking screen. So just pick a forwards, backwards, left, right, slide left, slide right, and it tends to give you a nice little run where you can start building a little bit faster. As you can see, I've gone quite short of space of time around most of it. I wouldn't be surprised if I ran out of walls before long. Oops. And I'm actually falling asleep at the keyboard here. Good thing I have enough skill to ignore some of the sleeps and the symptoms I'm getting. Yeah, well, my eyes are having trouble staying open. But there's not much longer to go, so persevere. what's happening there. The figures 3 walls short. Okay, so the thought is obviously you want it high enough that a Rex can't accidentally step up and off this platform. So that's enough to stop one from going too far. At the same time, I also want to be able to... See, I'm still wondering about the flyer deck. I have to fill the space in anyway, so maybe I should have it. And I'm yawning again, it's always good. I think I might need to actually get a Rex up here and actually experiment with the size. So, in the meantime, I'm going to grab glass and fill in some of this. Now, I'm not sure which one is the greenhouse. I need to make some changes to that. Okay, that's one done. Oops, don't need to fall in. So I picked up the Stargate Origins series. Well, I say I picked up, I was going to watch it until I found out. So I put it in the player and everything, turned it on and found that I had 10-minute video. I was like, 10 minutes doesn't seem like much at all. So I went onto IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and sure enough, the episodes for Stargate Origins are like 10 minutes long. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but I feel kind of ripped off. I need some more for that. Ooh. Actually, a thought. Yeah, I feel a little bit ripped off because Stargate's such a great series. It feels like they're kind of doing a half-assed job of it by making it 10 minutes. Then again, I haven't actually seen it, so who knows, maybe it is great. So here I'm trying to get the right snap. My screen is so bright I can't wait. Okay, hopefully that's not too dull for you. Oh, no wonder I can't snap it, there's already one there. Not in the right place though. Much better. Don't have enough tri-glass for the other one. This should be aligned quite nicely. I'm really loving these elevators, I think they're fantastic. This must be... no? This must be... must mean I'm disgusting. Okay, so the greenhouse will be on this level. This is to give the greenhouse buff to everything below it. In order to get down there, however, I'm going to need to do something interesting with the tech elevator. Now I'm thinking I may end up changing the glass in the very center to actual stone, because it's going to be a walkway anyway, so might be fine like that. The reason I'm going to need this is I'm going to be able to get down the central line of the actual greenhouse. Normally I do a funny like kind of stepping down ramp system, but it's just not going to cut it for this particular build. So I'm going to need to get more materials. That is looking great. I wish I could make a entrance on the slope try. Unfortunately, nothing really cuts it. Boo! If you like the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe already, although I'm sure you've already done that if you're this way through. Again, if you want to join my Discord, that's in the link below. A few people have already joined just from the tutorial videos. You're welcome to join us over there. There's a fair few people now already to come in and share your screenshots or ask for building advice or anything like that. So take care and enjoy your building.